A lot of people are wondering who would have authorized the strike on the Venezuelan boats, and that includes some lawmakers that have put out videos today. And I'd like for you to meet T. Elliott Geiser. Now, T. Elliott Geiser is the Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Legal Counsel. Now, according to the Trump administration, the Office of Legal Counsel did produce a legal memo that said that this would be okay. But let me explain the legal theories that he almost certainly used. The first one being, oh, by the way, he is from Ohio and a Hillsdale graduate. Now, because of the Hillsdale connection, as well as its prominence in Project 2025, we know that he's going to use a theory called unilateral executive theory. This used to be fringe, but of course, in these times, it's becoming more prominent, basically, that states that the Constitution gives the president the power to make these game time decisions, or really any decision. And also that the Office of Legal Counsel's job is to kind of make it legal, to provide support to it, not so much typical legal advice. The argument within these circles, too, is that these other branches, like Congress, don't need to be notified in actions like these, but also that judicial review cannot undo the thing, and judicial review takes so long, so in those cases, the courts should set aside the action. Now, there is another theory that's far more scary, and we know that he's going to apply it. Why? Because he wrote this essay for the Chicago Law Review. And that basically has to do with erasure and this belief that any department underneath the president, the DOJ, the DHS, DOD, CIA, FBI, because they do not have like a constitutional right to certain privileges or actions or decision making, basically, inherently, everything the president that he would argue can pretty much do whatever he wants. He argues that basically by the president saying something or directing anybody in these departments to do something almost inherently makes it legal. Now, of course, he has not a lot of experience in law. He is only 36 years old. He's taken really hot button positions such as reverse discrimination exists. He hates trans people, you know, everything it takes to get into the Trump administration. But he also has no experience in foreign conflict, combat, humanitarian law, international law, laws when it pertains to maritime, any of those things. So we do know one other thing that he is going to pull into this, and that is basically the same thing they did with the Houthis, and that is to say that they could basically call any group a enemy combatant or a terrorist. But the thing is the phrase narco-terrorism is almost counterintuitive. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's an oxymoron, because terrorists have to be a threat to your country, and they need to be implementing or trying to implement some sort of political change. And that is not what they're doing. Now, usually narco-terrorism means that smuggling drugs, narcotics are funding terrorism, and that's why it's bad, and that is obviously not the case here. And that typically, in those cases, the people running them, or that they have found on boats or in cargo ships and things like that, they are actually being trafficked. That's typically what makes it bad. Typically, the people that are on these boats are actually victims.